Hey guys, it's Tara, and today we're going to be reading Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, Chapter 42. If you haven't seen Chapter 41 yet, I'll link it in the description down below. What are we waiting for? Let's get started. Alright. The sky around Minli was quiet as she walked on the red rope bridge. The only sounds she heard were those of her own breathing and the pounding of her heart in her chest. After the dragon had landed and faded from view, Minli saw nothing except for the night around her. With such a limitless landscape, she could not tell how far she had walked or how much of the bridge she had left. It seemed never-ending. She began to wonder if she had walked for hours or days, but slowly, so slowly, Minli almost didn't notice it. The darkness of the night lessened with each step she took. The world around her became brighter, and with this light, Minli saw that the sky below her had somehow become a vast lake of pure water, and the night clouds were made of floating lilies. And stretched before her in the distance, like a faraway coast, she saw a high wall that seemed to glow. The wall was smooth and creamy white, as if made out of pearl. It too seemed to be endless. Minli could not see where it began or ended. However, as Minli got closer, she saw a round opening in the wall just before her, and in the circular passageway, a white rabbit stood like a jade statue. It was only when Minli stepped off the bridge and the rabbit started toward her that Minli realized it was alive. "Welcome," the rabbit said. "You're a little late. Did you have trouble with the monkeys?" Minli was too astonished to speak. The rabbit looked extremely like the one painted in the blue rice bowl. She nodded with her mouth gaping. "Well, let's go," Rabbit said. You're going to have to keep it short with the old man of the moon. He's very busy, and he hates unnecessary talk." Minli followed the rabbit through the round opening into the white courtyard and over the polished stone bridge that seemed to grow from the ground. As they passed over it, Minli saw the smooth water wave with gentle ripples and heard what sounded like faint drumming. To one side of her in the distance, standing out against the flat landscape, Minli saw the silhouette of a man cutting down a lone tree, with his axe making a thumping rhythm. As he chopped, the branches of the tree shook. Leaves, blossoms, and seed flew through the air and dropped into the water like raindrops. "Is that the old man of the moon?" Minli asked. "Him?" the rabbit said, following Minli's gaze. "Oh, no, that's Wukong." "Why is he cutting down the tree?" Minli asked. It seemed a shame to her that the only tree on Never-Ending Mountain was being cut down. Questions, the rabbit said. "I should make you wait to ask the old man of the moon. But if you must know, Wukong tries to cut down that tree every night." "Every night?" Minli couldn't help asking. "Yes," the rabbit said. The story of Wukong. Most thought Wukong was very lucky. His wife was beautiful and his children were healthy, and they lived all in a comfortable cottage on a farm in the country. His parents and elder brother lived with him, and his neighbors were faithful friends. But Wukong always wanted more, so when his crops thrived and flourished, he decided farming was not satisfying enough for him, and the day he reaped his successful harvest, he told his friends that he was leaving the countryside to move to town. "Why?" his friends asked him. "I want more," Wukong said. "But we are so happy here all together," they said. "It's not enough," Wukong said. So he packed all his possessions and sold his cottage, farm, and land. Then, with his wife, children, parents, and brothers, he moved to a town. It was crowded and inconvenient in the smaller house, but Wukong was able to apprentice himself to a furniture maker, and his family began to adapt to their cramped home. However, the day he was able to carve a chair from benchwood was the day he quit and decided to move to the city. "Why?" his parents asked him. "I want more," Wukong said. "But we are happy here together," they said. "It's not enough," Wukong said. So, with his wife, children walking behind him, Wukong left his parents and brother behind and moved to the city to search for something more. Their new home was a small hut of earth squeezed between other tumble-down houses on a filthy street, far away from the tight, cozy house in town or the comfortable cottage on the farm. Nonetheless, the wife and children adjusted to the life in the city while Wukong looked for satisfaction. But still, nothing was enough for him. After mastering the abacus, Wukong decided to quit the training to be a storekeeper. After learning how to hold a paintbrush, he stopped studying for the government position. Wukong always wanted more. "Maybe you should try becoming immortal," his young son said to him. You couldn't want more than that." "I think," Wukong said, "perhaps you're right." So, Wukong packed all his small bags and left his wife and children to find an immortal to study under. His heartbroken wife pleaded with him as he stepped out the door. "Don't leave," she said. "Here we are together." "It's not enough," Wukong said. Wukong searched and traveled long and far, and one night he found the Old Man of the Moon. "At last," Wukong said, "an immortal. Master, will you teach me?" The Old Man of the Moon preferred to decline, but Wukong insisted and begged. So, with misgivings, the old man agreed and brought Wukong to the never-ending mountain. So the old man began to teach Wukong lessons, full of wonder that common men would marvel at. However, Wukong, true to his nature, was unmoved and aspired for more. When the old man showed him how to obtain red threads from the granddaughter, the goddess of weaving, traveling across a sea of stars on the bridge of night birds, Wukong watched and followed, but after 3 days was discontent. "Master," Wukong said, "there must be something more you can teach me." So the old man taught Wukong how to tie the threads of destiny, sealing the knots with the shaft of light from the moon. Wukong studied and copied, but after 2 days, he again grew restless. "Master," Wukong said, "I know you can teach me more." Hence, the old man took out the scarce book of fortune and began to teach Wukong how to read his text. But after one day, Wukong exclaimed, "There must be more than this." With that, the old man clapped the book shut. "Yes," the old man agreed, "there is." And without a word, the old man led Wukong to the barren area of the never-ending mountain. The old man knocked the ground with his walking stick, and from the rock a silver tree grew. As Wukong stared, the old man tied a string of destiny around him and the tree. "The only things for me to teach you," the old man said to Wukong, as he handed him an axe, "are the lessons of contentment and patience. Only when you are able to cut this tree down, I will know you have learned them." Wukong shrugged and began his earnest to chop down the tree. Little did he realize that with every cut, the tree grew back, and every blow only scattered the seeds from the tree into the night sky lake. So every night Wukong cuts the tree, tied by the string of destiny. He cannot leave it as it is fated to chop until he learns his lesson or until the end of time. Ming Li walked silently after the rabbit finished the story, and for a while the only sounds were the trees flying seeds falling into the water. "Those seeds," Ming Li said to herself, "they are really falling through the sky to the earth. They are the seeds that fall into the Moon Rain village. It's Wukong's chopping that makes the strange moon rain. The flowering trees grow from the seeds from the tree on the never-ending mountain." But just as Ming Li's thoughts were interrupted by the rabbit, which had stopped suddenly, "In there," the rabbit said, motioning toward the circular opening through the stone wall, "is the Old Man of the Moon." And right next to that is a picture, and that is the end of chapter 43. Thank you guys so much for reading and listening. I hope you guys enjoyed. Give this video a like, subscribe down below, and comment down below if you like this podcast kind of vibe. Yeah, that's it. Bye.